Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, I'll send in his fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Horizon Forbidden West. Last episode, we managed to reclaim one of the cauldrons. But we still need to see if we can find Minerva in here. She's basically shut down much of the access inside of the place, and we're trying to figure out a way to get around in order to reach her. We've made our way through some of it, and...
Okay, now I've got to find a way to plug into this place.
Indeed. Ah, looks like if I go around this way, I'll be able to get some loot. This is big and interesting. But hey, extra loot.
Some kind of dome. Wonder what it's for.
I wonder the same thing. I'll take this. I'll take this. Okay, I can get around that way, nice and easy. I should have just jumped there. Oh, this looks spooky. Well, let's see what we got.
Alert. System core penetrated.
System core, eh? Insert Gaia kernel. Alright. Let's see what this does. I'm sure it'll come back.
Minerva, I need the console. Please.
Access denied.
It didn't used to be like this. Do you remember it? Anything? You were part of something bigger once. Something good. Gaia. That's right. She can live again. But only if you give her the chance. I can't reboot her without you.
Hmm?
Light. Cease.
I think you'll disappear into her. Become part of her, like you used to be.
Misery. Will cease.
Yes.
Misery.
Thank you. Thank you, Minerva. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Minerva function to original code.
That's convenient.
Do you wish to initiate heuristic matrix?
Here goes.
Okay. And there is Gaia.
Gaia.
Greetings, Dr. Sobek. A moment. Scanning data. So it is Aloy, not Elizabeth. We have much to discuss, but initialization of my heuristic matrix will not be complete for several minutes more. In the meantime, I suggest you familiarize yourself with this facility. It is our best option for a base of operations,
Okay.
and you can make use of its equipment to improve your ability to override machines.
Really now?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Shall I grant access to your companions? They will be here shortly.
Okay, but don't overwhelm them, okay? They don't have a lot of experience with things like Well, you.
That is true. Congratulations, you stand before what is effectively the equivalent of a robotic god.
So no fake this time?
No. This time she's real. Borl, Zoe. This is Gaia.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Gaia's still, waking up. Let's look around.
I will highlight the location of the lab on your focus.
Okay, that'll be useful, thank you.
I have established a network between your focuses, allowing you to communicate when apart.
Good. So what was this place?
A regional control center,
Ah.
where Zero Dawn progeny would have overseen terraforming operations in the area.
So I can talk to her, apparently.
I suggest you explore this facility, Aloy, until my initialization is complete.
Okay. Let's take a look around. Sounds like we have a home base. Is it a map? Yeah, there is a little bit of a map.
What's all this?
This was intended as the main gathering space for control center operatives.
You could fit a good number of people in here.
Or maybe just a few. To start with, you two go ahead. I'm going to poke around a bit.
Perfectly understandable. So we really are going to get a whole base. This sounds very useful. So we have stairs here. Going to another floor.
So this place was here all this time. Built for people who would never show up.
Why didn't they?
Remember that guy I told you about? Ted Farrow? He sabotaged things. It wasn't supposed to be this way.
That door leads to the west exit. But first, we have much to discuss. After you visit the lab.
Right.
And this leads to the east
Through
exit.
that door is a trail that leads towards Plainsong.
So I could head back east if I need to, once we're done here.
Good to know.
Correct.
This
Oh,
stairwell...
I've been down here before. That's where I
Ah,
first got into the facility.
What's all this stuff for?
This facility was designed to process an immense amount of data from the terraforming system. This is where it would have been stored.
okay. So this is data
That's some
storage.
kind of storage room.
Okay, storage room. Oop, there's something. Okay, so this is where storage was. Fair enough. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything else down here, so we can just head back up. We've been through the rest of the area. That door won't open. Okay, that leads out one of the exits.
Looks like an office.
Correct. The facility was designed with a number of private offices.
I guess it's
Okay.
nice to have a space to call your own.
So this is really going to become a home base for us in the future. That's actually very
Gaia?
nice.
Why doesn't this door have power?
At my current operating level, I am only able to restore functionality to part of this facility. In time, that may change.
Alright. So places will become more present. Okay, we've got bathrooms and showers.
What's this space for?
This would have been the sleeping quarters for control center operatives.
Reminds me of the bedhouse aspirants had to sleep in the night before the proving.
Only a couple beds, it looks like. Interesting. You'd expect more.
This would have been an access point for advanced training modules on terraforming operations. Unfortunately, those modules were deleted when the Apollo database was destroyed.
We may have a backup.
That's too bad.
We may be able to find a backup. After all, we now know that there was a copy of Apollo sent to the ship up in space. There may be a backup there.
Looks like another office.
If no
Okay.
one's ever been here, who built all this?
Gaia did. With the help of machines.
Mm-hmm. And finally we have... Well, nope, that's a way out. So, all we have left is the lab. Let's take a look.
So this was supposed to be the lab.
That was its intended purpose. Some of the machine data you recovered from the repair bay below us appears to be corrupted. Accessing the terminal in this room will show you how to repair and complete the override.
Really?
I'll take a look.
Sounds interesting. Fabrication terminal. Fanghorn override. So we've got that. We've got the Scrapper override, the Plowhorn override, and the Widemaw override. So we can do the Fanghorn and the Scrapper. We got plenty for that. The Plowhorn, we're going to need to take care of a few more. And the Widemaw as well, we're going to need tusks. So I'm going to need to fight Widemaws. That's going to suck. Well, we can at least get the Fanghorn and the Scrapper. So there we go. The other two, we're going to need to do some hunting. Bit of a problem, but okay. Plowhorn horns and Widemaw tusks. Ugh.
Well, I was able to repair some of the corrupted overrides. But it looks like I need data from more machine parts to fix the rest.
My initialization is complete. You may continue to explore the facility, Aloy. When you are ready, return to the control room. We have much to discuss.
Well, I already have explored...
Aloy, you have now visited all accessible
Okay.
rooms of the facility.
Alright, that is good. In that case, let's go speak with
Okay.
you.
Maybe it's time to talk to Gaia.
I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Very well, Gaia. Let's see what we have here.
Hello, Aloy.
Hi. So you're... ready?
Yes. Initialization is complete. All tests show that my heuristic matrix launched correctly and is stable. You must have many questions.
I do.
Yeah. But two big ones first.
Let's see. Subordinate functions.
We're not gonna be able to fix the biosphere without making you whole. I ran a search for your subfunctions at the Hades Proving Lab, but Minerva was the only one I found.
Thankfully, the sensory capabilities of this facility are far more advanced. I will search for the others now.
Okay, that'll be good.
Transmitting query pattern. Receiving.
So how far away are they?
Of Apollo, Artemis, and Eleuthia, I can find no trace. They are simply gone.
What about the others?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon are revealed. They lie within reach. Procurable.
That's convenient. Who would have thunk they'd be right here?
And Hephaestus?
It too stands revealed, but it is not like the others.
That's for sure.
In the years since the extinction signal, Hephaestus has evolved. Moreover, it is not confined to a single location. It haunts the global network that connects cauldrons to each other across the planet, making it exceptionally difficult to subdue.
Let me guess. We need it bad?
Correct. Its capabilities are essential. Without it, I can only delay the extinction of life on Earth. Hephaestus is our only hope of a permanent solution.
So we start there?
Unfortunately, We cannot.
I didn't think so.
Procuring Hephaestus can only be attempted after my own capabilities have been significantly enhanced.
Okay,
Grab
that
the
makes
other
sense.
subordinate functions first, then Hephaestus.
Precisely so.
So, Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon. How do I capture them?
To recover a subordinate function, you will have to travel to its location and find the physical processor to which it escaped. Then, exactly as you did with Minerva, you must use the master override to revert the subordinate function to its original code state.
And then how do I get it back here?
The subordinate function must be loaded onto a data storage device and physically carried back to this facility.
Okay.
The cartridge your root kernel was stored on?
Yes. Its capacity is limited, so it can only carry one subordinate function at a time. But in all other respects, it will suffice.
That'll work. So, Aether, Demeter, and Poseidon. I believe those were the ones that governed the atmosphere, the biosphere, and the aquasphere. Whatever those would be. The others, I don't remember what they are. I only know Apollo was storing all of the knowledge that they had. And as far as we know, there may be a backup up in the space version, but that's the only chance we have. Hades is obviously dead and gone, unfortunately. And the remaining two, I don't know. I can't remember what they are. Alright, and as for the strangers...
Maybe you can help me make sense of something. A while ago, I had a run-in with a group of strangers who tried to kill me. They had machine servitors and a clone of Elizabeth Sobek with them.
Yes, this was recorded by your focus.
Indeed. So who are they?
Do you know who they are?
The answer to that question is related to the extinction signal that woke Hades,
Of
prompting
course.
my predecessor's self-destruction.
The extinction signal? Okay, that sounds ominous.
The signal did not come from Earth, Aloy.
Oh.
The calculations are complicated, but it appears to have originated 81 trillion kilometers away.
Oh. The generation ship.
A distance so vast that light itself requires 8.611 years to cross it.
Okay, so... what's so far away, and why does it want us dead?
The Sirius star system.
Serious?
Serious? But that's where Far
Oh
Zenith,
dear.
their ship...
The Odyssey.
Yes, that's where it was headed. But it blew up. Unless... I don't... Why make it seem like they failed? They didn't want anyone to know. They didn't want future humans to think that they were out there. Wait. The strangers who tried to kill me at the Hades Proving Lab? The ones with the clone? Are you saying that they're from... that they're descendants of... Far Zenith?
Yes, that is my conclusion.
But how did they get back? Okay, that's... So the Odyssey, still the only possible place where there may be a remainder of Artemis. It managed to make it to Sirius. Then, when it got there, it sent a signal in order to sabotage this whole effort here to keep life alive and destroy whatever was left. Did they intend to go to Sirius temporarily and then come back and just wipe out everything that was here so they could have a planet entirely to themselves? It's the only thing I can think of there. Let's start with questions about subordinate functions. The ones you detected.
The 3 subordinate functions that you detected. What do we know about them?
All 3 are relevant to problems currently plaguing the biosphere. Ether is responsible for detoxifying the atmosphere and moderating the weather.
Okay.
Poseidon controls the organic and chemical composition of water resources. Demeter sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life. If all 3 were restored to me, they would constitute a massive increase to my heuristic processing density. But beware. Their responses to my query pattern were irregular.
Irregular.
In human terms, they are frightened, lost, and paranoid.
Okay.
Like Minerva. They need to be whole again.
Exactly.
Okay then. What about the missing ones?
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Faro.
Pharaoh, huh? I really hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic, impulsive, and unstable.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so.
That's
Do
debatable.
you still need them?
If attainable, yes. Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density. Unfortunately, I have no way to track them. They have disappeared without a trace.
Etheria and Apollo I can understand being excused. Etheria has completely served her purpose, and Apollo, well, Apollo is only knowledge. While we do have a possible source for it, if it is lost, that is the second least loss of all of these processors. Artemis, however, being able to bring animals back, while we do have animals now, if they suffer a bigger problem, Artemis would be one I'd very much want to get back. But about Hephaestus.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important. Only by recovering and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
So why wait to subdue Hephaestus?
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it first?
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, launched and merged with Minerva, I am operating at less than 1/5, 18.8%, of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus dwarfs this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way.
Ah.
A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
And how many subordinate functions is that going to take?
Merging Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon will expand my heuristic network to 41.6% capacity, exceeding that of Hephaestus.
So there's our goal. And how do we trap Hephaestus?
You said Hephaestus isn't located in just one place.
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions, which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
So, when the time comes to subdue it, how do we make that happen?
I do not know. While you are retrieving the procurable subordinate functions, I will attempt to find a solution.
Very well then. And could Hephaestus help defeat the Zeniths?
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So could you build an army of machines? Attack the descendants of Far Zenith and take them out?
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of Hephaestus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the Far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That is understandable.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Pity that, Hades was completely destroyed. He could have been useful there. So, questions about the Zeniths. So, the Far Zenith Descendants plan.
The sole purpose of the signal was to destroy life on Earth, right? Why would descendants of Far Zenith want to do that?
At this point, we can only speculate.
I've said my
We pose
speculation.
no threat to them. We don't have the technology to get in their way. We didn't even know about them.
True.
Unless... well... could it be that they want the planet for themselves?
There we go.
The strangers I ran into, they were after a Gaia backup of their own. I mean, if they did that... if they booted their own Gaia and boosted her power... until she could take control of Hephaestus. And then the whole terraforming system.
Then yes, the system could be used to do what the extinction signal failed to accomplish. Snuff out life, and then potentially to build an entirely new biosphere. To their specifications.
So they could be trying to do the same thing we are.
But with opposite results.
Extinction. Instead of salvation. Well, this is not good.
No, it is not. How did they get here?
You said Sirius is... really far from Earth.
81 trillion kilometers, or 8.611 light years.
Right. So, how would the descendants have gotten here?
On a spacecraft much like the Odyssey, though significantly more advanced. The journey from Earth to Sirius would have taken the Odyssey almost 300 years. This appears to have been much faster. If their ship departed Sirius at the same moment the extinction signal first began transmitting, the journey was made in just 29 years at an average of 0.297 the speed of light. If they did not set out for Earth until they learned of the extinction signal's failure, the journey was even faster, a mere 13 years, or 0.662 the speed of light.
Okay, enough. You're making my head spin.
Yeah, she's not exactly a physicist. So, yeah, they're very advanced. This is gonna be difficult. And we use a bow! So, the clone.
The descendants I ran into at the Hades Proving Lab, they had a clone of Elizabeth Sobek. So that's consistent with the idea that they came here to salvage Zero Dawn technologies, right?
Yes. As your own experience demonstrates, a clone of Elizabeth Sobek functions in effect as a key to the terraforming system.
But how could they have made a clone?
The Odyssey carried approximately 200,000 human zygotes, millions of animal zygotes, and billions of plant seeds. It is conceivable that Elizabeth Sobek's genetic material was sampled, with or without her knowledge, and carried aboard the ship in storage.
That's... okay, but... I mean... This clone... how could she participate in this? Destroying Elizabeth's dream? It's evil.
It is difficult to know. Perhaps she is loyal to the group and shares their objectives. Or perhaps she is a subordinate and has no choice but to comply with their orders.
Elizabeth Sobek, a subordinate? I don't think so.
She seemed to be acting as such. The signal and other subordinate functions.
The extinction signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
So the signal could only have been sent by someone who had thorough knowledge of the system, huh?
Yes. The signal's design was exceptionally precise and highly advanced. Were its intentions less malevolent, I would admire the intellect or intellects that produced it.
So, far Zenith technology.
So if the descendants came to Earth on a spaceship, I guess we can assume that their technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes, as your encounter with them at the Proving Lab amply demonstrates, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
Yeah, no kidding. The one I fought seemed indestructible.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. For example, assuming I absorbed Hephaestus and utilized it to create a large force of combat machines. No shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
And how did you track the signal?
How did you figure out that the extinction signal came from Sirius?
The key came with data on your focus.
Really?
From Silent's interrogation of Hades. The duration of the signal itself, 17.22 years.
That doesn't make sense. You said that the signal took
But if you
8.6
double it-
years to arrive from Sirius. Why would the signal keep transmitting after it was received and you blew yourself up?
Because it wanted to
the
get a
sender
return
didn't know
signal.
That had happened until it received notice from Hades.
Which would take another 8.6 years to get back.
Correct. Only then would the sender stop broadcasting, after a total of 17.22 years. So the duration, halved, gave me the distance the signal traveled.
That makes
With
sense.
that in mind, I simply scanned my astronomical database for any relevant location 8.6 light-years away. Because it was far Zenith's intended destination, Sirius was the only logical source.
This is true enough. Okay, and the biosphere.
What is the state of the biosphere? Is the terraforming system functioning at all?
In a sense, the terraforming system never stopped functioning. The difference, since my predecessor's destruction, is that there has been no central governing intelligence to monitor its robotic agents and assign new tasks. As a result, errors have accrued, and day by day, the biosphere has gradually veered ever more sharply towards destruction. In recent months, disturbances in the biosphere have become obvious. But these bellwether phenomena offer just the merest glimpse of the complex and accelerating cycles of environmental dysfunction, now driving Earth's biosphere towards collapse.
So
And
it's
you
a lot
can't do
bigger.
anything to stop it.
If you can return Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter to me, I can improvise modest corrections to parts of the system. Weather will improve, water will be purified, and rampant plant growth curtailed. But such corrections will not stave off collapse. They will only buy us time. Only with Hephaestus can I design and produce new robotic agents designed to permanently reverse the damage that has accumulated. All efforts must be directed toward that end.
Alright. Well, how long do we have? Yeah, good question.
How long do we have then?
At present rates, without additional factors, the biosphere will cross a point of no return in approximately 4 months.
Oof.
And if I gather Ether, Demeter, Poseidon, merge you with them?
We will only gain a few months more.
Well, every bit counts.
Alright then. Well, we will get started in the next episode, because I have a feeling we might have a little more conversation as we get our exact plans in what's to come, and this episode has unfortunately gone long enough. So, next episode, we will get started now that we have all this information and we have a bit of a game plan. We're going to talk with our companions and get this whole base set up and get everything settled. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Aloy. This has been a Let's Play of Horizon Forbidden West, and I shall see you all next time.